Hi, my name is Dan Sponseller, and this is my vegan journey. I'm 51 years old, and I've been at the Columbus Metropolitan Library for 28 years, and I've been vegan for 1 year, but vegetarian since I was 19. It all started when I was probably 7 or 8, and I saw Charlotte's Web, and that cartoon and the book both woke me up to the idea of where meat came from, and I was horrified. But my father particularly was the kind of a parent who said, you're going to eat whatever's on the table, and so I tried to put it out of my mind. And then when I was a young teenager, I grew up on a farm and we had cows, and he said, well, we're going to have cows, but don't get attached to them because we're going to be eating them. And I was like, what? No. They were like our pets. And so that was pretty horrific. And when I got to college, I met a friend who was from Sweden, and she was vegetarian. And that was the first time I really knew somebody that was vegetarian. And she talked to me about it. And my brother had just become vegetarian, so that was a big influence. Also, on my mom's side of the family, her father and brothers became vegetarian when her uncle read Thoreau in college and became vegetarian and wrote home and said, here's why I'm vegetarian. And then it was just, I was vegetarian for years and years, but I ate dairy products. And then a year ago, I took a cruise, the Holistic Holiday at Sea, and it featured a lot of famous speakers like Caldwell Esselstyn and T. Colin Campbell and Neil Bernard. And I had seen all these speakers in various PBS specials and was really interested in what they had to say. And I also realized I probably needed to learn a little bit more about my health. So I took this week-long cruise in the Caribbean, and it was just a wealth of information. And so it really sort of cemented both my ethical reasons for being vegan and my health reasons. And so it's been a year now, and I'm feeling great. When I was on the cruise, it was a great experience because it was a week-long cruise where everything was vegan, and that was a trial period for me. I really wanted to see how I would do eating just vegan, and the food was delicious because it was prepared by a master chef. But I got back to Columbus and I thought, well, I can do this, but I really didn't know how to go about it. So I just knew that I wanted to eat healthfully, and so I went to Whole Foods and Giant Eagle and Lucky's and checked out their organic produce sections and the regular produce. And I just started buying a lot of foods that I might not normally have eaten. Even though I grew up on a farm, there were certain things we just never grew. And so I really pushed myself to try new things. And I found that there was really nothing that I disliked. And so it's been just a period of experimentation where I make a lot of big salads, and I'll find different kinds of proteins and different kinds of spices to make them taste good. And I've been slowly exploring the restaurants around Columbus as well. In the beginning, I didn't realize that it was going to be as much of a transition as it ended up being. I thought, well, I've been vegetarian since I was 19, and so I know pretty much what I can eat. But I realized pretty quickly that dairy is in almost everything. Eggs are in a lot of things. And reading a lot of ingredients, I'd always done it, but I was even having to look more carefully at that. So in addition to that, I was also cutting out a lot of sugar and finding that there was just, sugar is in everything, salt, fat, and I was trying to find ways to make food tasty at the same time that it's healthy, and that's something I'm still working on. But it's a period of evolution, I think. And one of the things I've read and I've experienced is that the better you eat, the better food that you eat health-wise, the more you notice when something is overly salty or overly sweet, and you become more sensitive to that, so you don't actually need as much of that. And I think also in the beginning I was really reluctant. I'd been eating out at the restaurants in Columbus for years, but suddenly I thought, I don't know if I can eat the food there anymore. I don't know what's actually vegan. And so I really was going through this period of mourning where I thought, oh, I'm really going to miss cheese, I'm going to miss ice cream. And actually over the last year, I've found a lot of great substitutes for those things. And I mean, Jenny's chocolate truffle ice cream is amazing. And there's Follow Your Heart cheese, and there's just so many different things now. And if you look on a lot of the Facebook vegan pages, people are always recommending a new place to eat or a new place to get something from a grocery store. So it gets easier, and you just kind of have to find out what your taste is and what you like, and occasionally treat yourself to something that, like Edenburger, where it's maybe not the healthiest, but it's also really tasty and it's still vegan. And so there's a lot of great options out there. For me, I think it's hard to choose one. There are so many great reasons. I feel a lot better. I don't think I had a lot of health problems before, but in the last year I've had almost no problems. I feel like I have more energy, like my mind is clearer. I feel like I've made a lot of friends in the last year, and maybe that's just partly because of the group of vegan people. The community is so great. But just meeting like-minded people who share your values, and having a long-standing commitment to the ethics of diet and wanting to live your life in a way that aligns with that. I think those are all great things. And I'm a huge environmentalist, so it's for me, it's helping the planet, and it's good for my health, and it's good for everybody. So I love eating out in Columbus, and I've been doing it for years, and there's so many great restaurants. And now that I'm vegan, I've been exploring more and more of them, and so this is one of the reasons that I started the Columbus Vegetable Food blog, and so definitely check that out. But some of my favorite places to eat in Columbus are Banana Leaf, because they have such a great Indian vegan buffet, all you can eat. Loving Hut has amazing food. It's so tasty and so many great options, and they're so friendly there, and everything is completely vegan. Portia's Cafe has really good healthy food, and plus it's really tasty, and she's amazing. There are many more places that are opening up all the time and that have additional vegan options on their menus, and so the Columbus Veg community is working with them to improve their selections and the menu clarity, and so stay tuned. There are a lot of great things happening. If there's one thing I want you to know, I think it's that becoming vegan is a way to really change the world for the better. It changes it in your personal life because you feel good emotionally, physically, and spiritually, if you want to call it that, about your life choices and your food choices. You're not causing animal suffering. And it's good for the planet because you're not, destroying other lives, and you're helping the environment by being vegan. So it's for everybody's health and everybody's benefit. And I really believe that, if more people come to this realization, that it will make the world a better place. Thanks for letting me share my vegan journey with you, and best of luck with yours.